I have for several months now been studying the topic of reproductive sterilization. I do think that there could be a compound, some sort of chemical out there that could be created or perhaps already exists, that we don't know the true function of, that could either completely disable reproductive abilities or sterilize the people. And I think that the most moral route we could take, the most ethical route, would be not murdering people, but sterilizing people, blocking them from being able to have children. You might say this is a human rights violation, but I would also protest that having children is a human rights violation. For instance, all the poor people in Africa, South America, different islands here and there, and throughout China and Russia and North Korea, all throughout the world. I would beg to differ that in fact having children, it goes against um, go against real human rights. I think. Well, what harm would it cause someone to not exist at all, and not have to be used as a slave, or a concubine for major systems. In my opinion, billions and trillions of dollars, should go into the research of mass sterilization. Now, of course, major populations, especially poor, uneducated, ignorant people, will complain about this and will say, "Oh, this is bad. Oh, we can't allow this. Oh, it's immoral. It's unethical. It's against the law. Blah blah blah." But I think that I think that poor people shouldn't have a say when they keep reproducing in large numbers, and creating a lot of little children that have to suffer in horrible environments and deal with neglect and starvation and poverty. And um, and I think that it would be for the best. I think it's the most moral option to develop a chemical that could either block or completely sterilize the entire human population. And I think this could easily be done. Well, realistically, it would take a long time. It would be very hard, but I think coming up with a plan for such a thing wouldn't be hard. Developing such a compound would be likely very hard, but there are I'm pretty sure there are compounds out there that could be made that specifically target and only target reproductive organs. And Bill Gates is a good example. He's been receiving funding um, via technically Department of Defense, but through the CIA in a way. I mean, it's all like classified WikiLeaks stuff. I guess it's not even true. I guess because there's no proof of it. It's all speculative. But I mean, from what I've read, Bill Gates is already doing these projects, which I've had great interest in, because I think that I think these projects are real, and I think that they're being conducted on farms. Bill Gates, he has a big interest in buying farmland and spraying fruits and vegetables with different chemicals that cause sterilization in humans, specifically in just any mammals, but also insects as well. It just kills the insects, actually. I mean, that's the whole point of using chemicals on fruits and vegetables, plants and trees, is because it kills the insects. And it also at the same time sterilizes people, and that's part of Bill Gates' interest in different chemical injection treatments for things like malaria in Africa, because poor uneducated people aren't gonna know it at all what the effects are. All they're gonna want is to not die from malaria, right? So yeah, but I think that perhaps copying Bill Gates would be a good idea. perhaps paying people, actually not doing anything in secret, but doing it out in the open, paying people to receive sterilization, paying people and offering them different things in exchange for being a part of different studies. I think that's an ethical route to go. And unfortunately, a lot of Bill Gates' research, his different companies' research on sterilization is of course under wraps. So yeah, and most of his studies, scientific research, it revolves around reckless sterilization, not anything that follows moral or ethical legal guidelines in a way. It follows legal guidelines, because there's like loopholes, I suppose. I don't know what the legal guidelines are on mass sterilization and poisoning things with knowingly dangerous products. I don't know what the laws are on that, but I think that Bill Gates projects are a bit reckless. They're very widespread, and the effects, have it's like cigarettes. It took decades for people to learn the true effects of cigarettes. So sometimes with things that cause cell damage, it takes a long time for you to see the real widespread effects of something. So his research might be valuable, but his research projects are reckless and perhaps not invaluable because of the issues around his projects. But besides that, I think that sterilization, compound production programs might be the most ethical way to go, to basically destroy the entire human population. Um, and yeah, that's all I have to say. So like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.